Hello everyone, Lau here, and welcome to actually part 3 of my kind of series about the pony poses. Like in the first part I was talking like for a very long time in general about pony poses, what they are, like why manufacturers do different poses that they reuse. I was talking about all 4 pony generations and their poses. The second video was that I ranked them after like the system of how often the poses were used for different ponies. And I actually wanted to include in this video as well like my ranking of like how much I like the different pony poses, but I figured this video was already too long, so I separated this part as well, and now we're in this part of the video where I kind of rank the pony poses by my liking. This is just simply for my fun, and if you wanna like have a look at beautiful ponies, then that's your turn. Like, hey, I hope you like what I'm doing here, and let's get started, because I think I'm gonna rank adult poses and baby poses. Just the poses of ponies that I have. So also, it's not the ponies that I rank. When I show you here a pony, doesn't mean it's my favorite pony or something, because I have already done like a top 10 My Little Pony list. I can link that down below. So this is like primarily about the pose, and yeah, I just show you and rank the poses where I have a pony of. There are other poses that probably are very cute or whatever. If I don't have a pony, I don't include it. Let's get started with the baby poses, and I start with, let's say, the one that I least like, but I have to say, as I'm a huge fan of Generation 1 My Little Pony, I kind of do like all of them. I love all the ponies, and I love actually also all the poses, because it's not always just the pose that makes the pony. It's the theming, it's the color, the hair color, the symbol, I don't know, the special gimmick, whatsoever. So it's just as like what I say. I like actually all of them, but I had to rank them, so one of them obviously is then on my least favorite spot. So least favorite spot for baby ponies, I will put the baby boy pose. I don't know. I think it's nothing really like that I don't like about it. It's just not that special to me. It's a boy pose, but not has as any of the boy attributes. Like I would actually like the hooves look different for the adult boy ponies, for example. So it's like nice, but I had to put some pose at my least favorite spot of baby ponies. The next one I gave actually to the baby ember pose. It's, if you've seen my last video, it's one of the most used poses, actually the most used baby pony pose. Still, I don't know, I don't really like it. It's nothing that I dislike about it. It's just, it's not that special to me. Let's get to the next spot, which is the newborn dangles pose. I don't know, I think actually all of the newborn baby poses look very cute, but I think this is the, like, I don't have all of them, so I can only rank those that I have. As I said, this is like the most like awkward looking for me, because like this one sticking out leg looks a little bit like yeah, I don't know, it's from the newborn poses the one that I least like, so let's put it at this spot. And now actually comes the baby quackers pose. Here we've got baby lickety split. I mean, it's nothing I don't like. It's just, I don't know, how the pony is turning the head, and I'm not the biggest fan of the poses with this first tooth here. I don't know. I think after they were done with the first tooth baby ponies, they should have like removed this tooth like for the other, like for the mold that was then used again also for other pony series. So I don't know, but let's do it like this. Next one, the baby, like newborn baby tappy pose. It is a very cute one. I can't complain. As I said, the baby newborn babies are cute, but I don't know, for me it looks a little bit too too stubby or something, that I don't like it as much as some of the others. Next is the baby glory pose. I actually like it, but there's really a reason why I put this like a little bit more lower on the list, because it's one that always like falls over, not completely, but I don't know how it's supposed to stand like this or like this, you know, with on the first, like, because it can never, actually I think the first left hoof is lifted up, but it always falls onto it, so it's like a, I actually don't know the word in German, I would say it's Kippelpose, so it's like wiggling, so that's why it's a little bit like lower on the list. The next one is one of the other baby boy poses, which I think they are really cute, but I don't know, I'm not so crazy about them as I am for the adult baby, the adult boy poses, so I had to put it somewhere on the list. So this is the baby, oh my goodness, I always forget what the pose is called. The baby whirly twirl pose is the one that I have here. This is baby drummer, the only of the baby boys that I have, like, except for this baby boy pose. So this is the baby whirly twirl pose, because there are 3 others that look similar like this, which I don't have a pony of. So next one, another of the newborn babies, and the newborn baby pose, the baby yo-yo pose. So this is the one with the wings, so cute. So now we're like in the realm of, like, I don't know, I really love them all. There's nothing that I don't like about this pose. Look at these teeny tiny wings, so lovely. Next on my list is the baby ballerina pose, one that I had as a kid. Like, I didn't have so many ponies, especially not so many baby ponies, but I had one. Actually, I had baby soft steps here, and like that's why I really love it. It's beautiful, such a cute face, such a cute and then this is like a pose with like a very special feature. Obviously you can pose it a little bit the way you want to. I mean, not completely, because then it falls over, but okay, yeah, there's enough space, I guess. Okay, let's keep it going with another one of the newborn baby poses, the baby shaggy pose. I think this one is like one of my favorites from this. This is like, because I don't know, it's a straight pose. It's not one where the head is to one side, and I always prefer these. And also the legs are just standing straight, so that's why I prefer it more to, like, for example, this pose where the behind leg is a little bit like lifted up. Baby shaggy pose. Yeah, the next one on my list is the baby snookums pose. I only have one of the drink and wet ponies, so I only have one of the drink and wet pony poses to show you, but I really like this. Like, the expression in the face is just like so adorable, and it's unicorn. They, like, unicorns are like very, very lovely, so there it is. So the next spot on the list goes to a baby Pegasus pose, so the baby bouncy pose. I like it because it is actually quite a little bit taller than most of the baby pony poses. Like, if you look at those, it looks a little bit taller. So I don't know, and I really like this. Like, in general, this pose, the only thing, like, yeah, it is a first tooth baby pose, but really like the baby bouncy pose. Maybe North Star, the only one I have in this pose. Okay, how many are there? Like, okay, yeah, we're not in the top list yet, but the baby cuddles pose is one that I really, really like, and I actually am, like, I don't know, sad, or I really don't understand why this pose wasn't used like for more ponies. If you remember the last video, I told you, like, this pony pose was just used for 3 different pony releases. So we've got baby cuddles, we've got baby piddlywigs, sorry. And I don't know what the pony is called, but one with a play set, which was also for this play set then also released as a Betty by Eye, but there's also a non-Betty by Eye version, and this is in this pose. Sorry, I don't know the name of the pony. But other than that, why didn't they use this pony pose later on again? Like why? I don't understand, because like there are baby pony sets where they're like, for example, reused a pose like twice, where they, I don't know, there is a baby pony in the Ember pose, one in the Baby Glory pose, I don't know, then there is, I don't know, whatever, and there are then two of the Baby Blossom pose. Why did they do that, and why did they not reuse this one more? Like, I don't understand it. It's one that I really like, and that's why it gets quite high on the list here. The next two spots, you could say now we're in the top 5 of my favorite baby pony poses. I actually can't really decide because they go together for me, so that's why I show them together. If I had to decide, maybe I would say the baby whiskers pose is maybe a little bit more my favorite than the baby giggles pose, but they are the teeny tiny baby poses. Baby wiggles is the one that is like looks straight ahead, and the other pose, the baby giggles pose, is the one that looks a little bit to the side. But like, what's really about those poses is like the faces. Oh, they are so cute. I mean, I need to show them to you up close. Like, how can you not fall in love with this baby pony pose? Like, their faces are like the cutest. Okay, then let's get to, because this was like number 4, number 5. Number 3 is actually the baby surprise pose. A Pegasus pose. I just love this pose. I don't know, it looks curious, it looks like interested in, like, because the head is not, it is still a straight pose, but the head is like tilted a little bit like this, like, and not completely like to the side. That's why I love this pose so much, and it's I don't know, I just love it. It's classy, it's used quite often for so many lovely ponies. Here we've got baby pockets, so yeah. Number 2 of my favorite baby pony poses list is actually this pose. I always forget what it's called, but it's the newborn shovels pose, because I don't have the baby pony shovels. I only have this pony in the pose, which is baby Wiggles. I fell in love with this pony pose and this pony in general. That's why obviously I love the pose so much. When I was grabbing this pony out of a huge box at a flea market, like, and it's a unicorn, and this unicorn horn is so small, and like, I don't know, it's just the face from the baby newborn ponies. It's the cutest, in my opinion. That's why it is on my number 2 spot of baby pony poses. And let's give one honorable mention shout out, because I didn't include them, which are like, I count them as baby ponies, you could say. The Pretty Pals, so the baby pony friends, which we have 4 different poses. You know, we have sheep, we have a little lamb, we have a kangaroo, and we have a panda bear. And as I'm such a big fan of the pony friends, you know, the My Little Ponies that actually aren't ponies, they should always be at my number 1, like my number 1 ponies, my number 1 pony poses, whatsoever. That's why it's actually not fair to include them. They would be on my number 1, but yeah, let's kind of a little bit like exclude them and show you my favorite baby pony pose, which actually is the Baby Blossom pose. Very classic one, like very like early pose, and actually nothing special, if you would say, because it's not a unicorn and it's not a Pegasus, it's an earth pony. But there is something about this pose that I just so love. I don't know, it's the expression, like it looks high up in the air, like it's interested, it's like open-minded. It's not a shy pose, it's like a very open baby pony pose, and I have to say I think it has also something to do with that my other childhood baby pony was baby Night Song, so which is in this pose. So it's probably like, I don't know, encrypted in my mind that this is one of my favorite pony poses. So yeah, can you even see that here? Yeah, so here they are, all of the different baby pony poses that I have, with baby Blossom pose, my favorite. This is actually baby Cotton Candy. I also have baby Blossom. But for this video I decided to show you some other ponies than what I showed you for the poses in the last video. That's why I mixed it up a little bit. So let's clear this all and get to the adult ponies. Okay, let's start with the least liked pony pose, but again, there's no pony pose or pony that I dislike. It's just like I had to put them somewhere on the list. So I'm not a huge fan of the sea ponies. It's not that I don't like them. I would really like to have more. I only have Wave Dancer. Like, this is the only one that I have, so it's also the only sea pony pose that I can show you and that I can rank. In the summer, I guess I want to have more, because I would like to get more pictures in the lake. But I don't know, they are not able to stand up on their own. You have to display them in their shells. The shells are very expensive, and they take up a lot of room, and it's just, I don't know, as much as I, for example, love the special ponies, you could say, the baby pony Pretty Pulps or the pony Friends. As much as I love them, I don't love the sea ponies, although they are also kind of special. So they kind of mark my least favorite spot on the list, and I cannot even stand it up because, you know, you can't. That's why let's put it here. Okay, one pose that I also do not so much like is actually the Quackers pose. I mean, this is such a beautiful pony, like Skylark, oh my goodness. But the pose itself, I don't know, it's one that is so much tilted to the side with the head. Like, if you, I never know how to display them amongst my shelves. It's like, if you display them like this, you can't even see anything great from the body, because it's like you can't see the hair, you can't see the cutie mark. And then it's one pose, the ponies in this pose, they often follow to the front, because as soon as the legs are squished a little bit more like this, and a lot of the older ponies that are more squishable, they get squished together, and then they are not able to stand up on their own. So that's why this pose is pretty low on my list here. Let's put her here. Well, the next pony pose on my list is the Tootsie pose. I know it is one of the least loved ones, and I can understand. I don't know, it's the ponies can look really cute, but for me it's incredibly hard to get them good photos of. So I don't know, there's something about this pose that makes them, I don't know, not as cute as some other poses. Let's say it like this. Then let's get to the Buttons pose. The Buttons pose is actually the most used unicorn pose of adult unicorn ponies, generation 1. But there's something about this pose that I do not like as much as some of the other unicorn poses, and it's also one that often falls over like this, because one hoof is up in the air, the front one, and most of the ponies they kippeln, as I would say in German, you know, they. One reason why I do not like this pose so much. Okay, let's keep it going with the Glory pose. I don't know why I don't like this so much or whatever. It's just a very basic pose, and I think some other poses are just cuter. I really love those ponies, you know. I love Majesty. This is such a beautiful white pony, white and blue, but for some reason the pose is just not as special to me. Same actually goes for the bow tie pose. One reason for this as why I don't like it as much is you maybe have guessed that I prefer the straight looking pony poses that are more like to the front and don't have their heads like to one side. And this is one that has his head like a lot to one side. That's why probably it's not one of my favorites. It's one of the most used poses, so apparently the ponies in this pose like probably sold very well, but let's put it here at this spot. The next one, kind of surprising for me actually, is one of these sweetheart sister poses, because we're still very low on the list. There's coming way more. But I found when I looked at all of them and tried to figure out that I actually do not really like the dainty pose. You will see the other sweetheart sister poses are very much higher on my list. But for some reason, I don't know, this pose looks plain, or like I don't know, their hooves and their legs, I don't know, they look more like rubbery. I don't know. The head is not as cute as the others, so I had to put it quite low on my list, to be honest. Although I actually always say I love the sweetheart sister poses. Okay, next pose, the dancing butterfly pose. Also a pose that is really like tilted to one side. One reason why I do not like it as much. And if you put them on the shelf, it also looks a little bit strange. So it's a interesting pose, definitely not one of my favorites. The bunny hop pose. Actually a pose that was just used for two ponies. This one, so little pockets and bunny hop. Interesting. Quite a big pony pose, I have to say. So like if you consider like this an adult pony and this, like it kind of looks bigger, like longer, I don't know. It's an interesting pose. I don't know why it was never used again, just for this one set with two ponies. So it's also a little bit lower on my list, but I don't know why they even made this pose when they never reused it again for other sets. But I have no idea about that, so let's keep it going with let's showing them actually together, because I don't know. It's the powder pose and the no horn powder pose. They're quite special. I mean, one is with a horn and one is without, because I have to say I only have the Dance and Prance ponies in this pose, and if I have them all together on the shelf in those like crazy cool colors, then it looks really good. So I don't know really why I put them a little bit lower on the list, but I guess we come now to the ponies the pony poses that I actually kind of like all. So from the front, probably, if you just see them like this, it's very much like you don't see much like hair or stuff like that. And yeah, that's also one reason. It's a pose where you can't put much hair in, so it's not rooted a lot. There's just this short amount here which has rooted hair, but I don't know. I had to put them in one spot or on another spot. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going with the firefly pose, which is kind of unique for me because it's got an open mouth and it has like the stand like as if it would like just starting to fly. I really like this pose. It is one again that wasn't used very often after it was like just used in the very first sets, but anyways, I love this pose. So the next one is one that was like one of the most used poses, the crumpet pose, and it is quite a mirrored version of the bow tie pose. Not directly, but you could say that. But I love it way more. I don't know. The head looks more cute. The whole feature, I don't know. It's one that I really like. Also one that I had as a child, because this is like my childhood. I mean, not this, but I had music time as a child. So one of my childhood ponies. Probably this always also influences like which poses I like the most. I don't know. Let's keep it going with the gingerbread pose. And and I show you the birthday pony as an example, because this is actually something special, that the pony that was released for the 10-year anniversary of the My Little Pony line was chosen to be in this pose. So this is a gingerbread pose, one pose that I, as a child, I had sports time, and I played sports time as a boy. So to me it still looks like a boy pose, to be honest. And it was used also as a boy pose for some of the daddy ponies. So I like this pose. It's quite in the middle probably of like my favorite, most liked poses. And now we're getting like to the end of what fits onto the camera, but okay, let's keep it going. The next pose that I really like, or we're getting more to the poses I really like, so it's actually the Whizzer pose. I only have Whizzer, and Whizzers will probably be for a longer time the only pony I have in this pose, because it's not a pose that was used very often, especially not for ponies available in here over in the in Europe. But it's, for some reason, I always liked it. It looks like just cute, and that it's standing on its like tippy toes here is actually pretty amazing. So next pose, a unicorn pose, the Gusty pose. Really lovely, and on my spot number, oh my goodness, I cannot even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's 16 more poses for you, but the next one is the bubblefish pose. Also one of the ponies I had as a child here at this Talk A Lot, and only 4 ponies ever released in this pose. It is a very special, one of the like bigger poses, same as same as the bunny hops pose. So it's quite a large pony pose, a later pony pose, not one of the early pony poses, but just lovely. And where do I put her? Let's now make it like this, because I don't have more space here. Next pony pose for me is the lofty pose. It's a pose that I did not have a pony of for quite a long time. I just got like 2 in the lofty pose in one of my last pony unboxings, and ever since then I had one in my hand. I really like this pose. Maybe it's also because it's still a new pose to me, but it's a Pegasus and also a dynamic pose, not one that is like completely like tilted the head to the side or stuff like that. That all adds up to that it's one that I really like. The bride pose. Actually surprising, if you consider that I always say like, oh, I like the straight poses more, blah blah blah. This is like a pony pose that is like completely with the head like to the side. But I still can't deny it. It is a very beautiful pony pose. Like huge and, I don't know, slender, cute head. A later pony pose as well. So not one of the early ones released, but like, I don't know. It's just amazing. Just side note, in one of the pony magazines, I think from like 89, when this pony also was released, they asked the people, or they asked the children what their favorite pony of this year was, and actually the Pony Bride won. So it's actually to me no surprise that you find so many pony brides out there, because apparently the children love this pony. They all want to have it, and who is surprised by that? It is a beautiful pony and a beautiful pony pose. So also for me quite in the middle here, or later to like my favorite pony poses. Now we're getting to the flatter pony poses. I kind of put them side by side. I only have 2 different flatter pony poses, although they are 4 or 5. I think 4. And I only have the honeysuckle pose here represented by honeysuckle and the rose dust pose represented by rose dust. And I think I like the rose dust pose a little bit more. I don't know, the honeysuckle pose, this one leg here in the front, looks a little bit more like what the dainty pose like looked. That's I don't know, you know, what I don't like so much with this leg. It looks a little bit rubbery. I don't know how to explain that. That's why maybe this pose is a little bit more like to the front like of my list, but the flutter pony poses are like so beautiful because they are so special. It's not really an adult pony pose, you know, it's not really a baby pony pose. Somewhere in between, elegant but cute, I don't know. I really love those poses and I need to get my hands on more flutter ponies, really. I really do. Okay, I was just talking about like also like that they kind of remind me also of the like the Sweetheart Sister pony poses, and now we're getting to the Sweetheart Sister pony poses. I think this is the Fancy Flower pose, although this pony is Starflash. I love them. I can't deny it, I love them. And I think I like this pose even more, which is the Spring Song pose. I don't know why, it comes just to what the head looks like in the eyes or something that I like this one more. This is actually even the pony that gave the name to the pose, the Spring Song. I don't know, the other way around. And I just love them. Let's get to another pony pose that I really like, which is the surprise pose, a Pegasus pose, and a really cute one, although it is one that with the head is tilted to the side, but there are so many ponies that I really love in this pose. That's probably why this one is like at the very like front of my favorite pony poses list. I just think she like this pony pose is just adorable. My goodness. Let's count how many we still have. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this was number 9. So we are already in the top 10. And the next spot on my list is the Sugar Berry pose. I don't know what it is. It is a kind of dynamic pose with a cute head, although the legs are not really up in the air, which makes it better to stand. Although when this leg is like squished in, then she also doesn't stand that well. But I don't know, I really like this pose. It's one that I not always think of when I think of pony poses, but when I see a pony in this pose, then I always like it, kind of. So yeah, the Sugar Berry pose. Okay, now we're getting to the boy poses, which, yes, I put all of them like very like at the front of my list. It was kind of difficult which one to put in which spot because I kind of like them all, like really. But let's put them here for now, all of them. But I think I decided that the favorite of them is for me the Tex pose, because Tex is my favorite of the boy ponies, but I also think his face looks kind of the cutest. And like in the middle, let's say, of the boy pony poses, I put the Steamer pose, which also this is Steamer. And I don't know, maybe it's about like that the front legs are a little bit more to like, more like this, you know, so to the front, like really like pushed, that I don't like this pose as much as the others. So this would be like the direction least favorite of the boy poses, middle, and favorite of the boy poses. So my goodness, I need to. Now we can already say this is my top 4 favorite pony pose. It is the Sky Dancer pose. And seriously, I cannot understand why they did not make more ponies in this pose. It's a very early pose, like because this Sky Dancer, this is Sky Dancer, Moon Dancer. This pony was released in 1983, so it is year 2. It says 83, yes. And it was released for some early ponies, but honestly, when I counted, it was just 4 different ponies really released in this pose. And why? It is so cute. I love this pose so much. So the face, it looks a little bit like a little bit derpy, innocent, I don't know, and so cuddly, like I don't know. I should not try to explain why I like pony poses, I just like them. Top 3 favorite pony pose for me is the Mimic pose. Probably Mimic would be a pony that I would really like. Mimic is a twinkle eye, so I always say I don't like the twinkle eyes so much, so I never really actively search for her because I could never afford her. But the pose itself is wonderful. Also one that I don't understand why they just released so like little ponies like in this pose. We also have Milky Way, and then we have here Bear like Princess Sparkle, which I chose to show you. It is a straight up pose, very open, very like very self-confident pose with one leg completely in the air, but still a pose that is able to stand up really well, like at least the ponies that I have in this pose. It's not one that like the Crackers pose, they always fall over. I mean, you can make them fall over, sure, but it works. So number 2 on my list of favorite pony poses is the collector's pose. So the collector's pose is like the most classic pony pose. If you count all of the international exclusives, it's the most used pose for ponies like of all time, you could say. But still, if you just count like the releases of like pony names, you could say, as I counted them, it was still in the top 5 of most used pony poses, and it's one of my favorites in general. Like, I don't know, it's just something about the collector's poses. They are super classic, they are super vintage, they are the very first ones that were released. This is the OG pony pose, and it is so, look, I don't know, cute, cuddly. I love it just so much, this pose. Every pony in this pose is gorgeous. Now what is on my number 1 spot? If you have watched the first video, you already know that my favorite pony pose is the posy pose. That comes down to different reasons. Like the first one, obviously, this is my favorite pony. It was my childhood favorite pony. This is Half Note from the Rock and Beat Ponies, and she's in this pose, so that makes it kind of clear that she is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite poses as well. But also, it is a straight pose. It is a dynamic pose, and I don't know, it's a pose that most often like stands up also good. It's yeah, depends, but most of the ponies stand up okay in this pose. And I don't know, it's something, I just love the look of this pose. It's actually the pose that was most used. The most ponies ever like released in this pose. Still my favorite. So I guess that also says something when ponies probably always sold well, or the children love the ponies in this pose, so they reuse this pose over and over again, and I'm not blaming them because I love this pose. So there are many ponies in this pose. That's good for me, of course. As I did it same for the baby ponies, I also kind of excluded the pony friends, which would actually make the favorite pony poses because they are very special and I love them a lot. Like the pony friends are like one of my favorite sets. All of them are unique poses, but same as I did with the Pretty Pals, I exclude them from this list because let's concentrate really on ponies. So there you have it. That's a lot. Let's pick out the number 5 pony poses again. So there we have them. My top 5 baby pony poses and my top 5 adult pony poses. Yeah, I think that video was really just for me as fun with like playing with my ponies, getting them out, spending time with them. I don't know if you were interested in that, but if you were, tell me what your favorite pony pose is. Or like if you have like struggled with some of the poses, like for example the Quackers pose, you always say, oh man, they always fall over, stuff like that. I'm really interested. If your opinions on the pony pose is actually something completely different than what I chose here. So thank you for watching. See you soon, and may the force be with you. Bye!